Queen Nana lived in a large beautiful palace filled with guards, servants and bright fabrics. Everyone respected her. She was loved, honored and treated like gold. But she had one problem that never left her mind. She could not get pregnant. For years, she tried herbs, she tried prayers and even healing baths. Every healer who examined her said the same thing. You are healthy. Nothing is wrong with your body, my queen. Yet, every month, the same thing happened. Sharp pain in her stomach, sudden weakness, and tears she could not explain. The king tried to comfort her. Don't worry, my love. A child will come at the right time. But each year passed with nothing. But if my body is fine, why does pain strike me every night? The queen asked. It always came suddenly, a sharp pain in her stomach, as if something inside her was rising up and squeezing her from the inside. She would hold her stomach, sweating, crying, unable to stand. The king would rush to her side. Nana, what is it again? But she could never explain it. After the pain passed, she felt empty and weak, and every hope of pregnancy disappeared again. People in the palace began to whisper, this kind of pain is not ordinary. Maybe it is spiritual, maybe it is a curse, but no one had proof, and everyone felt something wasn't right. The queen had a sister, Chidera, who was always present. Every time the queen cried from pain, she was always there. She would rub Nena's back, hold her hand and say, don't worry, your time will come. Her voice was gentle. Her voice was so sweet and so comforting. One night, after another painful attack, the king called all the healers and said, tell me the truth. What is happening to my wife? Why does she feel pain every night at the same time? The healers looked at one another. One of them finally said, Your Majesty, this does not look natural. Something or someone may be blocking her womb. The king's face hardened. Who would do such a thing? The healers shook their head. No answer. After the healers warned that someone might be blocking the queen's womb, the palace changed. People began to watch each other with sharp eyes. Servants talked in quiet tones. Guards stayed alert at night. Everyone suspected someone, but no one knew who. Queen Nena's sister was always so caring. She was always around. Everywhere Nana went, Chidera followed. When she took her baths, when she prayed, and even when she cried, Chidera's presence became too heavy, too perfect, and too close. The palace mates whispered, why is she always there? Why does she never sleep? I heard footsteps in her room last night. She locks her door every evening. Rumors grew, but no one knew if they were true. One night, while the queen cried in pain, Chidera rushed into her room. The same second the pain started, not a moment later. The king noticed this. How did you know she needed help? He asked. Chidera smiled calmly. I heard her voice, but the king frowned. I did not hear anything yet. Chidera looked down quickly, avoiding his eyes. Maybe my ears are sharper, she said. The king did not argue because he trusted her. The palace was quiet. The queen had finally fallen asleep after another night of sudden stomach pain. The king could not rest. He felt worried, confused, and angry at the same time. So he stood up, wore his robe, and took a stroll outside. He walked around the courtyard, then he walked down the hallway that led to the rooms. As he passed Chidera's door, he heard a small sound, like a voice whispering. He stopped. He leaned closer. There it was again, a tiny whisper, sharp and secret. Just a little more, just a little more, the voice said. Just a little more pain. the voice said again. The king frowned. Chidera is still awake. He placed his hand on the door. Then he heard something else. Light tapping. His chest tightened. He shoved the door open, and the sight he saw made him freeze. Chidera was sitting on the floor. A black clay doll lay in front of her. A long, thin needle was stuck in its stomach. Around the doll were pieces of cloth, beads, and strings, all belonging to the queen. Chidera tried to hide the doll behind her, but it was too late. The king stared at her, shocked. Chidera, what are you doing? She stammered. I, I can explain. He stepped inside and grabbed the doll. When he pulled the cloth off, he found one of Queen Nena's wrappers tied around the doll's waist. The king's voice shook. So this is what has been hurting her. This this is the thing that has been hurting the queen. Chidera began to cry, but there was no fear in her crying. It was anger. She shouted, "You don't understand. I was supposed to be queen. I was the one everyone admired when we were younger. They gave her everything because she was older." She pointed at the door. "I used this to keep her barren. She was never supposed to have a child. I wanted you to choose another wife. I wanted that wife to be me." The king looked at her with disbelief. "You hurt your own sister just to take her place?" Chidera's voice dropped to a whisper. "Yes." The king called the guards immediately. "Take this wickedness out of my sight." Chidera tried to run. She screamed, kicked and begged, but the guards dragged her out. The king carried the doll outside and threw it into the fire. The next morning, the queen woke up with no pains at all. Days passed, then weeks, then one morning, something new happened. For the first time in her life, Queen Nena felt her stomach in a different way. The healer examined her, looked up with wide eyes and said, "My queen, you are with child." The palace erupted in joy. People danced, people sang, everyone finally understood. It was not sickness, it was not a curse, it was simply jealousy living under the same roof.